Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Yo. Hey, what's up? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. Currently, I am in Cleveland, Ohio, recording this in the middle of the night after my shows. This hotel's got some interesting art. But that's the life of a comedian. Get off stage and we still got to go to work. You know, I flew in this morning, had about 3 hours of downtime, and then did 2 shows in Cleveland, both sold out, and then come back here and record. But that's the life we choose. That's the life we live. So a couple months ago, I said I got a big announcement. I said, I can't wait to share it with you. It's something that I didn't see coming, and it's not life-changing, but it's a culmination of all the hard work my team have done over the years. But for the first time, I have a nationwide tour of theaters. So it's called No Hard Feelings. Tickets are on sale now. Just go to my website, GaryOwen.live. We just announced the first 37 cities. They'll end up being between 42 and 45 once it's all put together. One city I know that isn't for sale yet, but will be, is Maui. Honolulu's for sale, but Maui's not for sale yet. And then there's a couple other cities they're working on. And this is just for the January to May run. And then I saw a lot of people, like, if they didn't see their city, they'd be like, well, where's Atlanta? Where's Pittsburgh? Where's this city? I'm like, they will be there in the fall. So how this tour is working is we're going to go middle of January to middle of May. We're going to take the summer off, and then we're going to come back in either late August, early September, and we'll go to December. So it ends up being 100 cities is what I signed up for. Shouts out to Icon Concerts. They came through with an offer that blew my socks off. And the thing about a tour, and this is not a knock on other comedians, but if I see a comedian going, this is my tour, but you're doing comedy clubs, that's not a real tour. A tour is when you're doing theaters and a promoter gets behind you and they map out a tour with tickets for sale. There's a pre-sale, there's codes, and it's just, so I've never been the guy being like Gary on blah, blah, blah tour. And I'm at the, at the Des Moines Funny Bone. That's not a tour. You're just a comic working a club. I don't want to say just a comic. That's downplays it. That's still an amazing accomplishment to headline. But this is something I've never had before. And this is a culmination of getting clips, posting them every day, doing the podcast, doing other people's podcasts that not necessarily was in my wheelhouse, AKA Tom Segura, Andrew Schultz. I mean, they're all great comedians, but that's not at the core of my fan base. And, between Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you just keep pumping material out there, and it caught fire. And now we got a tour. Because I know a lot of you was thinking, when I said this a couple months ago, people were like, is it a Netflix special? Is it this? No, it's out. It's a tour, and I've never had that. Never had a nationwide tour. So I'm going to run down all the cities, the first 37 cities real quick. So Reading, Pennsylvania, January 16th. Fresno, California, January 22nd. Oakland, California, January 23rd. Long Beach, California, January 24th. El Paso, Texas, January 31st. Tucson, Arizona, February 1st. Albany, New York, February 5th. Boston, Massachusetts, February 6th. Brooklyn, New York, February 6th, 7th. Louisville, Kentucky, February 13th. Memphis, Tennessee, February 14th. Nashville, Tennessee, February 15th. Midland, Texas, February 20th. Houston, Texas, February 21st. Oklahoma City, February 22nd. Phoenix, Arizona, February 27th. Denver, Colorado, February 28th. Cheyenne, Wyoming, March 1st. Little Rock, Arkansas, May 12th, or March 12th. Shreveport, Louisiana, March 13th. Lake Charles, Louisiana, March 14th. St. Louis, Missouri, March 19th. Chicago, Illinois, March 20th. Cincinnati, Ohio, March 21st. Baltimore, Maryland, March 27th. Melbourne, Florida, April 2nd. Pensacola, Florida, April 3rd. Green Bay, Wisconsin, April 9th. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, April 10th. Minneapolis, Minnesota, April 11th. Fargo, North Dakota, April 12th. Bakersfield, California, April 23rd. Santa Rosa, California, April 24th. San Diego, California, April 25th. Honolulu, Hawaii, May 2nd. Seattle, Washington, May 14th. Portland, May 15th. And like I said, Maui's on there, but it's not for sale yet. So, I've seen a lot of comics have tours, and I always been like, that's cool. I wonder what that's like. And then we had the pre-sale go on sale, and they went really well. So tickets are moving. It's exciting. So yeah, no Netflix. Now we are recording my next special January 17th and 18th in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Theater. So it's not officially a part of the tour, but the special is going to be called No Hard Feelings in conjunction with the tour. And January 17th sold out, so we added a third show January 18th on Sunday at the Lincoln Theater. So we're going to shoot it, and then we're going to air it March 7th on YouTube unless Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon come in and want to buy it. But we're not waiting. We're going to shoot it. We're going to edit it. Then we're going to submit it. And we're going to say, look, you have till March 7th if you want it. And if not, we're going to air it on YouTube. But we're not waiting. We're not waiting to see if you have money allotted, if it's on your schedule or not. Because, the proof is out there. It's great to get on all those platforms, but we don't need them at all. You can do it yourself. So that's what we're going to do. So this just got me kind of not in my feelings, but just reminiscing about my whole life. Like the first time I ever called a comedy club was my first day in San Diego. And I called the Comedy Store, got on the open mic, got all dressed up, and thought I'm about to get discovered tonight. And it didn't go that well. And then, but just even before I was a stand-up, man, I always envisioned this. Always. It's the weirdest thing. I remember sitting in class like my sophomore, junior year of high school. And even with my chaotic home life, this sense of calm came over me. Like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be a comedian. And I remember thinking, you guys don't know who's in your class. I'm sitting right here. It was the weirdest thing. And then to get stationed in Washington, D.C., and you listen to the radio and you hear like somebody's coming in town, and I would sit outside of like an arena or a theater just to hear the stand-up that was going on. I'd stand somewhere where I could hear it, or I'd sit outside comedy clubs because I wasn't old enough to get in and just listen. There was one spot in D.C. you had to go up. It was on the second floor, and I literally used to sit on the first floor and just listen to the comedians. And I remember when I would come home to Cincinnati and the Funny Bone. At that time, I think Ray Combs owned it, who used to be the host of Family Feud. He committed suicide years later. But okay, I have an excuse for yawning tonight because it's late that I'm recording. Even though this is going to air Friday midday, I'm recording this middle of the night, Thursday night. I used to sit outside the comedy club, the Funny Bone in Cincinnati, and couldn't get in. And then there was a black door dude bald head, big hoop earring. And he started to get to know me, and he started to let me like sit at his back booth. And then he used to bring me like cheeseburgers, Pepsis, and me and him would sit back there and critique comedians. And I always tell him, I'm gonna be a comedian, bro. I'm gonna be a comedian. And I've never been on stage yet, but I would just tell him I'm gonna do it. And then sometimes I wonder, like, did I see anybody famous? Did I see anybody who was huge and it just didn't register at the time? But I never, ever wanted to do anything else. I always wanted to be a comedian. It's wild to know that at a young age and then to do it and chase it. It's weird. Like, I never thought I'd be a pro basketball player, pro football player, or nothing. I was going to be a comedian. I don't know how. How do you do that in a small town, Ohio? I don't know. I just said, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And now we got the tour. No hard feelings. I'm probably going to say it about 87 more times this podcast because I'm in my feelings because of it. Yeah. It's kind of surreal that I've been sitting on it since like August, September is when I found out. I think August is when I found out when I got the phone call. I'll never forget. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. My agent calls me and they tell me the number that I'm going to get paid for this tour. And I was going nuts. That's the first time I ever was just walking in the middle of the street. And I called my girl. I called her mom. They were together in the car. I said, stop the car. I got to tell you something. And I told them, and I just went, I couldn't believe it. And then the overthinking and the almost anxiety kicks in because I wanted to do well. I want these people that are investing their money in me, Icon. I want them to get a return on their money. I want them to be like, I want to be in business with this dude because we can bank on him. One, he's going to sell tickets. Two, he's going to put on a good show. And his fan base is solid. Like, they'll come back. But yeah, there's that pressure. There's that pressure. And then you think about all the times that you weren't selling any tickets. Oh my God. I'll never forget, there was a club in Macon, Georgia. And I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've never seen anything like this. No. I was there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I can't remember what the club was called. I got there Wednesday, packed. Let's say the club held 400 people. It's packed, but it's all free tickets. I didn't know Wednesday was Free Ticket Wednesday. When I tell you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, empty. We were lucky to have 50 people a show. And then Sunday comes, which is also a free ticket night, packed again. I've never experienced a weekend like that. Where literally the free nights, Wednesday and Sunday, sold out. And it was one of them clubs where it kind of sat by itself. So as you're going on the road, you would make a left and you would go down this little hill, and then the club opened up at the parking lot. So you knew immediately if it was crowded or not by the parking lot. When I got there Wednesday, there were so many cars in the parking lot. I go, this is going to be a great weekend. Thursday came, I swear to God, there was 10 cars in the parking lot. And then Friday and Saturday wasn't any better. And then Sunday comes, I pulled up, it's packed again. I go, why is it packed? And that's when the manager told me, oh, no, we give free tickets out for Wednesday and Sunday show. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you got to pay. I was like, oh, it was so odd to me that I understand being a little more crowded or whatever, but to be completely booked to the wall and then nothing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That was just one of them nights, no tickets. One of them weekends, no tickets was selling. I've had a few, especially early in my career, where it was just empty. God, I did this theater in Chattanooga. I bet there were 40 people in a 2,000 seater. 40. So, yeah. To go from that to this, it's unreal. And this has been a huge jump in the last year. This isn't like this just happened. No, like it's been a huge jump the last year. Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. I'm so excited about the end of the year run I got through Florida and Louisiana, and then New Year's Eve in Dallas. And then I'm going to take a couple weeks off, and first city out the box, Reading, Pennsylvania. That's the first stop in the No Hard Feelings tour. That's going to be January 16th. That's the night for my special in DC. So that's going to be like a trial run for my special. So if you didn't get tickets to DC, but you still want to see the special, still some left for the Sunday show on the 18th, but you can always go to Reading, Pennsylvania on the 16th to see a dry run of my special. So, and of course we'll have a camera set up, and I'm going to do at least an hour of material, but then of course I'll do some crowd stuff. And that seems to be what the expectations are now with some of the crowd work stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty cool feeling to know you got dates on the books. They're selling pretty good right now. They just only been on sale 2 days, but it doesn't suck by any sense of the imagination. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Blue Chew. Guys, this isn't just about performance. This is about legacy. And I'm talking about that third legacy. Sometimes when you take Blue Chew, your voice sounds like this. I know what I want to do. I want to give my girl her group chat something to really talk about. You know what I'm talking about when you lay it down and they're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. We all need that little push, that little help, that little make it go. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code GETSOME at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Blue Chew's mission is to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety information. And as always, a big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Then you start thinking about all your openers over the years. Like, wonder what they're doing. Yeah. Wonder if I'm the only one that does that. You just reminisce about all the like hell gigs in your past. God, I remember. God, the hell gigs are the funniest stories though. Nobody wants to hear a story about, I ripped, I got a standing ovation, I destroyed that. I want to hear about the bombs. I want to hear about the shady promoters. I want to hear about the shitty hotels. I want to hear about the car rides. All of it. I remember, God, I think I was I in Mobile or Montgomery? I was either in Mobile, I think I was in Montgomery, Alabama. This promoter brought me. I'm sorry. This hotel was so shitty. I put towels down on the bathroom floor. Then I ripped the covers off the bed and put towels down and slept like I was in a coffin. That's how nasty the hotel was. And then the next morning, the cleaning lady was knocking on my door like 7 in the morning, pow, 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 pounding. So I'm still asleep. 8 a.m., pow, pow, pow. 9 a.m., pow, pow, pow. And I go, I'm still asleep. And she goes, well, I can't do something until I clean this room. I said, I can't help that. Checkout's not till 11. And then when I checked out, they had I'll never forget, it was like $56 of long distance calls to Texas. This is like 98, maybe, 98. So not everybody had cell phones. That's when you still had to call long distance on hotel phones and get charged. And the cleaning lady must have been calling somewhere in Texas, because they tried to give me the 50s. I said, I didn't call nobody. I didn't pick up the phone. So that means this chick, when I was at my show, or when I wasn't there, was in my room, or somebody's in my room, making long distance phone calls. And then they're pounding on the door. So I'm like, it was, God, just a thought. I've had a couple rooms. The nastiest hotel room I ever seen in my life. And I'll never forget it. My brother passed away May 20th, 2015. Was it before his funeral or after? I think it was. Okay, so he died. I went and saw my mom. And then I went to Biloxi, Mississippi. And then, I went to Biloxi, Mississippi. Then the next night, I was in Tunica, Mississippi. And I can't remember the name of this casino, but I go there. And I got there so late, I dropped my bags in my room, went straight to the show. I get done with the show. My boy Nate, he said, yo, can I use your restroom? He's going to drive back to Memphis. I said, yeah. So I still haven't sat on the couch. I've done nothing. I'm in the same clothes that I flew with, that I went on stage with. He said, yo, come here. He goes in the bathroom. He pulls the little hand towels up and there's like little bugs on them. I go, oh, that's nasty. So we go in my bedroom. We pull back the sheet. Now we're freaking out. Like there's bugs in the towels and stuff. We pull back the sheet. These weren't bed bugs. These were bed animals. There were so many bugs in the sheets and then in the damn mattress. I go, oh, we checked. I just grabbed my bags. We could not find a hotel room between Tunica, Mississippi and Memphis, Tennessee. We stopped at every hotel on the way. We were making phone calls. Then we get to Memphis. The Westin said, we don't have any vacancies tonight, but we have some tomorrow. So as soon as people check out, we'll let you in. I said, well, when is that going to be? They're like, well, our cleaning people don't get here until 9 a.m. I was like, fuck. So me and Nate, good thing is Beale Street stays open late. So we went to some bar nightclub and just sat there till 5:30 in the morning when it closed. And then we came back to the Westin and I said, Nate, just go home. Go home, man. He went home. I just got on my laptop. I sat in the lobby. I was in the lobby till like 12:30. They gave me breakfast vouchers. Then they gave me lunch vouchers because they felt bad. Because I told them, I said, dude, bed bugs. And I think I had made a post on social media about my brother dying. So I think they knew I wasn't in the right frame of mind, so to speak. And then I just remember I finally checked into the Westin. I still had a show at that casino the next night. We had 2 nights. And I'm not going to throw the casino under the bus because they looked out in the end. And I did my show the next night. And I remember the GM gave me $650. I go, extra. I go, what's this for? He goes, well, that would have been what your room would have cost for 2 nights. Thank you for not going in on us on stage. We were embarrassed. I said, you got to get these rooms together, bro. I was like, that didn't just happen. That's been going on for a while. And, yes, I went back to Memphis, but that was the nastiest room I ever seen. There was bugs in all the towels. Like we were lifting towels up in the bathroom. There was bugs in any place that there was fabric. There was bugs. And I'm so glad I never sat down. I brought my bags in. I went straight to the theater in the casino, came back. Nate asked to use the restroom. So I was just kind of standing in the room. And then that's when he said, yo, come check this out. And that's when we pulled back all the towels. But it was all of them. Oh, it just makes my skin crawl thinking about it. Ugh. Yeah, that was nasty. Trying to think some other nasty hotel rooms that I've been in my life. Usually it's early in your career. You're at shitty hotels. Now, here's funny. Since I'm in Cleveland, here's a great Cleveland story. So the first 10 years I ever started coming to the Improv / Funny Bone, they had a comic condo. And it was it wasn't that great. But it was 2 bedrooms. And this is where he stayed. So sometimes comics don't take the best care of, accommodations. And so over time, it kept getting worse, this condo. Furniture never got changed. Same old TV with a VCR in it. And so after about 10 years, let's say, of going there, I started selling some tickets and I got to move up a little bit. So then they started giving me a hotel. So at this time in my career, my contract said 1 hotel room. So I had just started working with my old road manager, Brad. And so I called Cleveland. I said, yo, can he stay at the condo? And he was like, yeah. So Brad calls me. First day we're there. He goes, hey, man, I don't know if I can stay here. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, man, I just don't like it here. It ain't that clean. Da, da, da. And I said, Brad, it's not that bad. This sumbitch said, you wouldn't stay here? I said, motherfucker, I stayed there for 10 years. What are you talking about? I stayed there for 10 years. I was so like, this is your first time here and you're making demands? With the way he said, you wouldn't stay here. I was like, bitch, I did stay there for years. So, yeah, the Cleveland condo. I wonder if they still got it. I don't even ask. I just get hotel rooms now. I wonder if they still got that condo. That's the thing about stand-up, man. Some of these comic condos, Little Rock had a terrible comic condo. It was like a rundown house. I've heard Columbus has a good comic condo, and I heard Nashville has a decent comic condo. So they still got them. Nashville's is right across the street from the club. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's about that time. Yeah, I wonder. I'm trying to think any other nightmare hotel / condo stories. No, that might be it. I'm sure there's more, but some ones I can think of in the middle of the night. So listen, if your city was not on the 37 cities I read off, it will be, because we're going to hit every major city. If it's not on this one, it'll be there in the fall, just so you know. And rumor is, because people have been asking, we're going to do a European run over the summer. That's what we're putting together right now. And they didn't want me to say anything, but I think it's all right, because I'm not saying what cities, because I don't know, and I don't know how long and everywhere else, but we're going to put together a European run for the summer. I think I'm more excited about that than anything else, just because I want to see if my jokes translate overseas. And I see other comics, they're always over in Europe and doing stuff. So I just want to see how mine plays out over there. I think it'd be interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Did get my anxiety checked out. For those of you that was concerned last week, I got a doctor's appointment this week. They're going to do a brain scan just to see why it happened. And I think, looking back on it, I think it was the lack of sleep. I think we hit the ground running partying. And I had some personal stuff that I don't want to share, but it definitely had a factor in it that I'm okay with. But I had some personal stuff that I was just trying to process everything. And then the lack of sleep and everything else just kind of hit me. But I did say, like, if you're married and you're a woman and your man has anxiety or panic attack issues or anything like that, I just don't think women realize the power that they hold to uplift a dude. Because even with my girl, man, like, she's the only one that can really get me out of a funk. If, like, and I told her this, I said, look, if this ever happens again, just hold me. Just grab me, hold me, and you got to speak life into your dude. And it just, I can't tell you what it does to a man, and I've seen this all over social media. The one thing you can't do, man or woman, is when you're with a partner and they open up about something traumatic that happened to them. You can't use that against them when you're arguing with them. That's low, and that's just not good for the relationship. When somebody's being vulnerable with you and they're sharing something that happened and you use that against them. Oh, no. That's not good. And on the other hand, and this is men and women, Like, man, you got to just compliment your woman sometimes for no reason. And she might not say nothing back, but she hears you. She appreciates it. Tell her she looks good, smells good. You know, what if say something nice to you, shoot them a text and be like, that meant a lot to me. And same with women. Like, your dude's going through something. You're like women don't know the power they hold just to speak life into their man. Tell him he's like, tell him he's the shit. You know, tell him you appreciate his hard work and you appreciate the example you're setting for the kids and whatever they got, man. It just makes the man want to do whatever for you. We want to buy you everything. We want to work harder to give you more shit. It just means the world, man. And unsolicited, just randomly send your man a text or call him and just say something out of the blue. I just don't think women realize how important that is to a dude. You know, and you can never do it enough. You can never do it enough. And guys too, man. You gotta do that for your woman, you know? And I think I realized that when I was talking to my doctor about the anxiety. He goes, what do you think could have got you out of it? And I was like, and this isn't a knock on my girl. She didn't know. I go, yeah, I think if she would have just held me and, told me everything's going to be okay. And she didn't know. I'm not letting her in. But now that I've talked to her about it, I said, this is what I need. If that ever happens again. Yeah, I think it's just important. And I'm guilty of it too. Like sometimes I don't tell my girl enough what she means to me, and because she's the shit. She looks good, smells good, feels good. When she gives me a compliment, it means more than anything else. I told her, I said, when I make a post, I look for you to like it. I said, for some reason, I'm always looking for you to like it. And it means like so much when she does. I'm like, yes, she likes my shit. Yeah. I've seen it quite a bit on social media lately. And I think that's so true. And you know what else I saw that I think is definitely true? I saw a guy say, ladies, you want to know how to melt all your man's problems away? Again, unsolicited, when he's sitting somewhere, come behind him. Just give him a hug. Kiss him on the cheek, kiss him on the forehead, whisper in his ear, something. But that behind the back hug, when you don't expect it and you've done nothing to really deserve it that day, maybe, you're just sitting there. Oh, ladies, you don't even know. That is so true. When I saw that guy say that, I go, oh, that is 100% true. That behind the back hug, oh, I don't know if I've had that or not. I don't know. Yeah. When that guy said that, I go, man, that's so true. That's so true. So, yeah. So I've just been reminiscing about my career, shitty hotels, women and men uplifting each other. I think I'm going to text my girl right now. Just tell her, what's up, baby? Just thinking of you. So, anyways, exciting times. Like I said, if your city's not on there, it will be. Just listen. Go to my website, GaryOwen.live. All the tour dates are on there. All the links are on there. We do have some spot dates, some casinos. I got this end of the year run. We got we got St. Pete on December 26th. Jacksonville, December 27th, New Orleans, December 28th, Mobile, Alabama, December 29th, San Antonio, December 30th, Dallas, aka Grand Prairie, December 31st. I think we're about to add a second show in San Antonio because that one's almost gone. So, shout out to San Antonio for buying all them tickets, baby. You guys are the best. All right, y'all. Yeah, so we'll see y'all next week. No hard feelings coming to a city near you. All right, this is Gary Owen with the Get Some Podcast. See y'all next week.
This mother motherfucking Gary.